And then let's check if everything's alright on my end quickly. So we've got this started. I'm absolutely freezing. I might have to get my coat up in here in a second because it is cold. I've got a berry burst tea right now. Yeah, wicked. Yeah, I've got a berry burst tea in here right now as well, just to keep me company because it is freezing. I don't want to catch a cold right now. Staying up late to watch Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz in a fight that hopefully is going to keep me awake, but I don't think the undercard is, which is going to be an issue. So you might see me surfing around a little bit because I think the pride of the Providence, that's right, the pride of the Providence, Peter Manfredo, is returning out of retirement into action on another card. So I'm not too sure actually, if that is actually available. Because if it is, I do want to check that out whilst we're waiting for Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz. So let's have a look if we can get it quickly. Big Dan, good to see you here, mate. You're someone who's joining me for this late fucking show. Hey, what time does the main event start UK time, mate? We're looking at about 4 or 5 a.m, maybe even 6. So I'm going to say conservatively 5:36, so around that time, mate. Hopefully not. But considering what it was like, someone versus Seja, Figueroa versus Seja, I have no idea what the card is. Wilder v Ortiz 2 card. Let's have a look who's on the undercard because I don't even know. And that's gonna give us a clue, hopefully, of when and where the fight, like what time it will take place. Hopefully, anyway. I'm saying that I could be just talking absolute shit, but who knows? Hopefully, we can get that. Get an estimate of the time. Here we go. Have we got this? Well, let's have a look. Quick look. Come on.
Appreciate the opportunity to come up here and fight.
Oh no, man, it's some UFC thing. We're not gonna get it then, are we? Come on. Come on. I don't want. Yeah, so that's fucking 6. I'll stay with you as long as I can then, mate, because I got nothing better to do, mate. I appreciate that, Big Dan. Big Dan is gonna slug it out with me, as with the last King of Scotland, who's also in here. It tends to pick up a little bit around, when Deontay, like the main event comes in. With the American streams, though, like I don't get as much traction as I do with the English streams. But hey ho, it's all part of like building and learning these sort of things and having fun with you guys anyway. So that doesn't matter too much. But I've got you guys in here. Hopefully, you guys can keep me company. And I can keep you company as well at the same time. Unfortunately, though, whilst we're waiting for this undercard, right? Also waiting, for Wilder versus Ortiz 2. I did see a little link for the Pride of the Providence, Peter Manfredo Jr. returning in action, and I've just tried both of them, and they lead to UFC events. So I don't think we're going to get to see the Pride of the Providence in action, which is a shame. But we'll go straight to the undercard for Wilder versus Ortiz, which is, it's such a shame that. Here you go. Let's have a look. Okay, so Ortiz, is getting his hands wrapped. So who knows? The ref, Kenny Bayless, is giving his instructions, so we might get it earlier. I just got a message from Ben Faruqi from Boxing News TV, who I do some interviews for. I was asking what people thought of it, thought of the fight ringside. That's Callum Smith versus John Ryder. And the ringside opinion coming through from Ben is that most gave it to John Ryder. So it's always different because when you're in the ring, when you're in the event, actually at the arena, and then you're watching back at home, you've got two different perspectives. And I think, to be fair, the bridge between those two perspectives is if you can hear the crowd chanting loud for Callum Smith, then they're seeing something for Callum Smith. But when they're quiet, and when they're quiet for most of those 12 rounds, I think they only really picked up in the last 3. I think they're probably chanting for John Ryder. I didn't have it too loud anyway, but yeah, the crowd were pretty much silent for Callum Smith and for most of that fight. So yeah, John Ryder, at least in the arena's perspective, good left hook there. Who was that from Ceja and Figueroa? That was class. Absolutely rocked Figueroa. Well, good little scrap here if you got this on. Just flicked it on in round 5 and just trading leather. That's pretty sick. Just 2 Mexicans in here. Just totally going for it. Yeah, so yeah, that's the perspective from ringside. If you guys wanted to know, but yeah, man. Hopefully, Big Dan, we're earlier than 6, and then we can get an early night and do whatever the fuck we need to do on Sunday, man. Because but yeah, if you become a stalwart like Last King of Scotland is, that'll be fucking great. Because I need just as much company as I can. But yeah, people do tend to pick up when the main event comes. But yeah, it depends with the traction. The American kind of fan base don't pick up on this one, but I seem to get a little bit more with the British ones. But hey ho, again, that's another thing. But whilst you guys are here, I suppose I'll share this with you guys. So if you haven't already subscribed, I think you guys are subscribed. I'm pretty sure. Last King of Scotland is Big Dan. I think you're a new subscriber here. Great to have you, by the way, Big Dan. Yeah, so tomorrow at the latest Monday, a video is coming out, like a little thank you 100 subscriber video, like thank you video for you guys. And basically what I'm doing is I've already filmed Dennis McCann, Hamza Shiraz, Asgi, Tyson Fury's assistant coach, Steve Wellings from the Boxing Asylum, Ryan Elliott from Boxing Social, Oscar Beres from IFL TV. I might be missing 1 or 2 others, but I filmed a little question and answer segment for these people that I've filmed, and that's going to contribute as a thank you video to you guys for getting me to 100 subscribers, because I never thought I'd even get to 100, and like I've got new goals and stuff like that, but like I've just been doing this to enjoy this as like a little side hobby, and now it's grown to me like going to events and interviewing and stuff, which is just a load of fun. So yeah, I'm just wanting to have fun with you guys, and yeah, man, just a little thank you video coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow at the latest, it will come Monday. Then back to some more other videos as well coming along. So do look out for that tomorrow or Monday at the latest, like I keep saying. Hopefully I'll have it out tomorrow. But yeah, that's a video coming out for you guys very imminently. I feel bad for John Ryder. I thought he won, but even if he didn't, a unanimous decision. Oh yeah, like not even like a split or anything. Like no judge gave it even like a. This is the thing. Like I messaged Sporting Icons just asking for his opinion on it, and we just got talking, and it was just like fighters sometimes just can't get any they don't get the justice in the ring where if you think they win and they didn't win it, but then even on the scorecard, like they just get like a 117, 112 when it was just a lot closer than that. It's just ridiculous. It's sometimes what kind of annoys you about the sport, you know what I mean? Because these guys train hard. These guys should get their just dues, and 117, 112 just isn't reflective of the performance John Ryder put in. I don't think you can say that it was that wide in it. If you have it close, and from the eye test, I would agree I'd have it close, but I had John Ryder winning. But if you have it close, then you could probably say, Callum Smith by 1 or 2 rounds, or a draw or something like that, but not wide. No way was Callum Smith winning wide for me on the eye test. On the eye test, I didn't score it, and I wouldn't put any weight or opinion if I sat down to score it to then give you my score anyway. But I will like admit and concede that a lot of the punches that came through from John Ryder were getting caught like on the arms and on just like the tip of the elbow and things like that. But anyway, at least still, even with me saying that, I still from that first viewing I thought John Ryder won. But have you seen the reaction from Twitter? Like the box, some like Smido's pissed off with it. A lot of people on Twitter, at least that I see anyway, I'm like following stuff and who they follow because it comes through. There's just a lot of people pissed off with this result. And Tony Bellew apparently saying that he had it clear for or something along those lines for Callum Smith as well. So yeah, man, it's just a shame. It's just a shame because even if they had it close and they had Callum Smith winning, but it was close, given John Ryder is just you know what I mean? But they didn't. They didn't. I don't know what they were seeing. Round 6 of Figueroa versus Ceja. I'm not going to call this. I'll just chat to you guys and talk to you guys. If I see anything coming up or that takes my eye, then I'll go over to it. But yeah. Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz, man. That's the big one that we're waiting for. Hopefully it'll happen pretty quickly. I still need to check out quickly the undercard. Let's have a look. Leo Santa Cruz versus Miguel Flores. Here we go. Oh, shit, man. Right, so Marcellus Wilder versus Dustin Long. I don't know if you guys have seen this, and it's worth, if you haven't seen this, going on, open up another tab, going to Twitter or going into YouTube. It might be up already. Typing in Marcellus Wilder versus this, is it Justin Long? Sorry, is that his name? Let me just quick check. Dustin Long. I won't spoil it for you. I'm going to count down from 10, and then I'll let you know about it. So if you want to click off this quickly or mute me quickly, or you have a quick look at this. Marcellus Wilder versus Dustin Long. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's go. So apparently, from what I saw from Twitter, Marcellus Wilder was in cruise control until the 4th round, where he got clocked by Dustin Long, who switched from orthodox to the southpaw stance and then led with a left hook, which knocked down and knocked out Marcellus Wilder. And Dustin Long picked up the victory against Deontay Wilder's brother. Maybe a little bit of short foreshadowing. We can grab at a few things if this is a Shakespeare's tale. Maybe a little bit of foreshadowing here in this event. Maybe the world is trying to tell us that something's going to happen tonight in between Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz. Who knows? But that fight has happened. I assume this veto fight has happened. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Where are we? Okay, Figueroa versus Ceja. Apparently is above Leo Santa Cruz versus Miguel Flores, but I don't think that's happened. Leo Santa Cruz. I think Leo Santa Cruz versus Miguel Flores is next after this. I do like watching Santa Cruz. Sorry, I do like watching Leo Santa Cruz. Obviously, he's in those classic matches with Carl Frampton, El Terremoto, Leo Santa Cruz. Just the problem is with his career, man. Like, I mean, he says it himself. Like, oh, here we go. Did it happen? Result P. What the fuck's P? Pen. That's got to be pending, right? And we can take a quick sip of this thingy. Yeah, I don't think it's happened yet. But the thing, like Leo Santa Cruz said it himself, which is where I respect him a little bit. It's like, I think there was some sort of interview where it's like, oh, what are you in it for? You're in it for legacy and money. He's just like, yeah, money, fuck it. Yeah, so coming up next, Santa Cruz versus Flores. So yeah, this will be after this. It's round 7 of 12 on this one. So it'll be this, then Leo Santa Cruz versus Flores. Then if there's any more floats around, they'll be put in, and then it'll be Wilder versus Ortiz. But do not forget, there's the fucking entrances, and then there's the national anthems and that shit like that. So yeah, there's still gonna be some time, but hopefully not too long. But yeah, like I was saying, Leo Santa Cruz is someone who's just accepted, you know, I'm not in here for legacy as much. I just want to get paid. And fair enough, but the thing is, the guy can fight so many fighters, but he just doesn't. He just gets out. He managed to wriggle away from fighting these fighters, which is such a shame, because he could be in such great fights. Like a third fight with Frampton, I'd love to see. You know what I mean? Good overhand right there from Ceja, I think. Was it Figueroa? That's for Figueroa. Another overhand right again. Yeah. And he just hasn't. He just fought kind of also rounds and easy touch opponents. As Leo Santa Cruz, which is just, yeah. I want a big fight. I'm scared of nobody. Yeah. To be honest with you, I think I don't believe that Santa Cruz is scared of anyone. I don't think he's ducking anyone. He just seems to get these easy fights. So, who knows? Maybe along the line, when Leo Santa Cruz finally gets in with an opponent like a Carl Frampton, You can see that fight move on and that title move on to someone else, so it's not held hostage by fucking Leo Santa Cruz. Let's see what you guys are saying. Exactly, mate. John Ryder did really well. He was closing down the distance very well. Yeah, 100%. It was my opinion getting the better of the rounds. The thing he did really cleverly, right? I don't know. I've only seen a couple of fights of Ryder. I don't know if this is atypical of a John Ryder performance. I have a feeling that he probably did this in advance of the Callum Smith fight, right? But I have a feeling, because what he was doing to manage that distance, because Callum Smith should be managing that distance a lot more better than what he was doing, but he would lean his head forward and dip down whilst leaning his head forward, indicating that he was going to step forward to move forward with a punch, but then he'd lean back a bit. Then sometimes he would engage and then go forward, and that would keep Callum Smith guessing as to whether he was going to come and engage or not. And I think that was a very clever tactic to put, like they said, sometimes the Sky's commentary gets a bit of stick, but it said posing those questions to Callum Smith as to what, is he coming forward, is he not, do I pour out my jab here? And then those jabs that he was pouring out were almost on top of John Ryder, which when they're on top of John Ryder, who's already shorter than Callum Smith, John Ryder has an easy time of slipping, just literally ducking straight, not even moving his head off the center line when he ducks, but just ducking straight down, and really able to, even with just minimal head movement, being able to, and he didn't just exhibit minimal head movement, but even with minimal head movement, he was able to slip those punches and then come with his own when he wanted to engage and push Callum Smith back and get off with some punches himself. I thought he did really well, and like we discussed, not got it on the scorecards, as you said. Just watch the knockout. Wow, the way his head bashed against the canvas, mate, it was so weird because he also kept his eyes locked on his opponent as well, which I thought was a bit strange. He proper kept his eyes locked. Then he kind of tilted his head back. Bit of a strange knockout, but the guy was out. No point continuing that fight. Marcellus Wilder getting knocked out by Dustin Long after being in what was believed to be cruise control, as per the Twitter report. Anyway, if you can even call it a report, a tweet, sorry. I should probably say. Vanna Humpalot, a.k.a. Ricardo Shilly-Shally, a.k.a. Snake Hips. Santa Cruz is a waste of time. Listen, man, when Santa Cruz is in a good... just some action here. When Santa Cruz is in with a good opponent, he's normally in great fights. Give me more of Santa Cruz and Frampton. Give me a Santa Cruz and Warrington. Give me those type of opponents. A Santa Cruz and Dog Bay would be a great fight. You know what I mean? Just give me those opponents. Don't give me just shite opponents. You know what I mean? Otherwise, I can miss it. I don't want to see it. I want to miss it. Because he's got. I think he's got talent about him. I like watching him fight because he's a fan-friendly fighter. When Santa Cruz is engaged, those two fights again against Frampton, I could watch again if I wanted to. I could sit back on a Sunday and watch those fights again easily. Like when I do choose to pick fights that I watch back every now and again, that's one I could easily go back to. I'm not going to watch a Lawrence Okoli, am I? I'm going to watch a Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz Frampton. Sorry, that's what. So that at times he can be really engaged in fighting. It's just a shame as well when you've got that, but then the matchmaking has just been so pro Santa Cruz and so risk averse. Yeah. D-Man, can't ever bet on boxing, so fixed. I don't bet at all, D-Man. I don't bet at all, so I'm not a betting man. If you are a betting man yourself, then you're in good company here. Last King of Scotland's a bit of a betting man as well. But I don't bet personally. I wouldn't know where to fucking start anyway with bets and shit like that. But it's... I don't know. It's those times as well when you get those upsets and you're like, fuck, I should definitely put like a bet on that. Like, imagine you putting a bet on Andy Ruiz to beat Anthony Joshua the first time round, and that coming through, and then you've always got that. You can just take a picture of that slip, and you've always got that, and you look like a fucking guru, don't you? You look like a guru once you've shown that slip of you betting on Andy Ruiz to beat Joshua. It's almost like that evidence slip that you have there. Because all those people kind of come out the woodwork, don't they? After the fact, like, oh yeah, we thought Andy Ruiz was this, Andy Ruiz was that, and like for me, right, I'll tell you this quickly. I thought so. Let's just because we're on the heavyweights, let's just discuss because it's an easy topic. Let's discuss Andy Ruiz, versus Anthony Joshua, right? I was one of those people. I won't say I counted out Andy Ruiz, but I thought Anthony Joshua was going to win. I wasn't one of those people like, oh, he's a fat slob, X, Y, Z. You know what I mean? But I thought Anthony Joshua was going to win, and I was going to live stream for it. But I thought, fuck it, I'll just wake up in the morning and I'll see the win, right? Yeah, I thought I'd just wouldn't live stream. I'll wake up and I'll wake up to an Anthony Joshua win, and I had it on my laptop, and I was falling asleep, and as I was falling asleep, Andy Ruiz was making his way into the ring. Actually, he'd made his way into the ring and he was getting announced by the announcer, and underneath Andy Ruiz's name was his amateur record. His amateur record, I forgot the figure what it is, but it's absolutely ridiculous what his amateur record. And as soon as I saw the amateur record, right, because I don't know what media outlets I must have been listening to that the whole up to fight week, or some of the stuff that I was reading, but I didn't pick up on that amateur record at all. But once I saw that amateur record, I was like, what the? Something could happen here. Literally immediately, I was drowsy to like straight up awake because I was like, oh my god. This guy's got something about him. This guy could do something here because he's in. Obviously, he's been in against like Povetkin's and things like that, and other fighters who've got great amateur records, X, Y, Z, whatever. Povetkin obviously a lot older. But once I saw Andy Ruiz with that record, I was like, yo! And I watched the fight, and I wasn't tired anymore. What happened, and it was absolutely wild. But then you could get out of the woodwork, don't you? People that were like, no, I knew Andy Ruiz would do this sort of stuff and this and that sort of stuff, and yeah. But yeah, imagine being a betting man and picking Andy Ruiz to beat Anthony Joshua, and then taking a picture of that slip to have that evidence. That's the one, innit? Let's see what you guys are saying. Bro, you should have much more subscribers. D-Man, I appreciate your support. Smash the like, by the way, guys. It really helps out with the visibility of the channel if you can. Just smash the like, and if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. I think you guys are all subscribed anyway. Listen, it's just all about starting and getting to grips with things and having a bit of fun, you know what I mean? It's not too much about subscribers. Like, for me, I think, the more I do things, the subscribers will come, and I'm getting opportunities as well, which is great. Like, if you don't know, I think I've said a number of times, I'm now actually interviewing. So I interview for Boxing News TV. So if you go over to Boxing News TV, you'll see my interview. So I got to go to Josh Warrington versus Sofian Takut up in Leeds. I interviewed Josh Warrington. I interviewed Ben Davison. I interviewed a number of people. I forgot. I've interviewed Eddie Hearn a couple of times now. I get to go to weigh-ins. I went to Newcastle for Ritson Davis Jr. I interviewed David Price ahead of David Price versus Derek Chisora. So yeah, I mean, it's about like what's coming outside of it, and I think that's going to help grow this channel as well. And I've got things coming up in the future, so it's just all a slow business, and it's all kind of it'll all come in time. But for me, to be honest with you, it's not too much about like getting subscribers. I want to put good content out for you guys. I want to live react with you guys. I want to interact with you guys. I've got a load of ideas. When I got the opportunity to interview, I bought a book. I bought a book with blank pages. In that blank pages, I've wrote 15 so far. 15 of what I would call original boxing idea, like content ideas of things that I want to do. And the first one you'll see is coming out on, like I said, Sunday, hopefully, but latest it's coming out on Monday as a thank you video for you guys for me getting to 100, because I'd never thought I'd get to 100. I'm just doing this as like a hobby, but I'm having fun with it, and I'm getting these opportunities, and yeah, hopefully I can get that onto the channel. And more interviews will hopefully be coming up in the future. Well, interviews will be coming up in the future in the channel, but I mean, check out the stuff and just join along. We'll just have some fun. Yeah, smash the like. Help me get up to 5 if you can. If you haven't already, click the like button. I would appreciate it. Deontay Wilder is getting his Hands wrapped now very slowly. Time is on his side because he's over in America. We're over here in England at 3:30 in the fucking morning watching Ceja versus Figueroa as an undercard fight to Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz 2. Woo! Alright, what were you guys saying? Someone called True Geordie on YouTube betted on Ruiz to win by KO and won like 400 quid. Damn. Fair play to that guy. I got to see True Geordie actually. I was at the first press conference I did was KSI versus Logan Paul 2 in London, and it was absolutely wild. It was fucking off the chain, man. I don't know if obviously you guys, you're proper boxing people, and I get it, but I found it like mildly entertaining. It was entertaining at points, even the build up. Like, in boxing, like where you get grasped by the, I'm gonna do you. You're gonna need 10 plumbers to fix you. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of that with the YouTube stuff because they do call the entertaining part of it is calling people out in it. And there's that with the KSI versus Logan Paul stuff. But yeah, it was mad. It was absolutely mad. There were like 3,000 people in there at the Troxy. Loads more lined up outside as well, waiting, trying to get into this place. The crowd were fucking wild. They were chanting loads of shit. They went off the hook when the other YouTuber, Neeson Gibb, went on the stage. Absolutely crazy, man. These guys are absolutely crazy. Let's have a look at what these guys are saying anyway. Ruiz won his fight against Parker. I think I've only seen half of it. It was one of those fights I didn't see like live when it happened. I haven't caught up on it, but I've only like watched the first 6 rounds of it. So I haven't seen it all. I've just seen that like a lot of close action, a lot of punches being thrown by the two of them. I mean, to be fair though, the Ruiz in there looks nothing like the Ruiz against Joshua though. It's so strange. The way he fought against Parker is just nothing like what he fought against AJ. And I was speaking to a couple of people, and I just think like maybe now these smaller fighters, these smaller, quicker fighters, especially in the heavyweight division, are going to be the reckoning of the big heavyweight fighters in the heavyweight division. Like for example, an Usyk against a taller, more natural heavyweight. Don't count him out because everyone says, when he's set against a proper heavyweight, don't count him out because you might see these you might see these smaller fighters being the reckoning of the taller, more naturally set heavyweights. You might see that trend coming soon. I think that trend started with AJ versus Ruiz, and you might see that coming up more in the future. But Usyk, I think maybe for one of those 2 titles, it depends on what title gets to vacate, the IBF or the WBO. If the WBO gets to vacate, the Usyk versus Chisora, I think it's probably going to happen next. That's what I'd probably put my money on. Usyk versus Chisora happening next, probably in early next year. And that'll be a good fight. And that's a tough fight as well for Usyk because that's a more naturally set heavyweight, but in comparison to what I'm saying about a taller heavyweight and the shorter fight has been the reckoning for taller ones, Usyk and Chisora, I think Chisora's a smaller in terms of size heavyweight, so that's a tough fight for an Alexander Usyk, and that's a cracking fight as well. Cracking fight to watch. I'm trying to get to that one. Even Bob Arum thought Andy was crap. Hell yeah, man. The Bob father. Same D-Man, although I thought it was a pretty close fight. It was, from the 6 rounds that I saw, it was. D-Man, Ryder got robbed, I thought, Big Dan. Yep, Ryder, man, the whole robbery thing, it's such a strange, like, people get all, like, hooked up on what's a robbery, what's not a robbery. The bottom line is with, like, that fight, Ryder and Smith, he just didn't get the justice on the scorecard, so yeah, you could probably call it robbery if you want. It's just a shame because if John Ryder had a bit more power, and he was able to get Callum Smith in a bit more trouble, because he caught Callum Smith clean a couple of times with punches that he wasn't seeing either. If he had a little bit more power, then Callum Smith would have been You might have seen a knockdown or two. We're in round 11 of round 12 of Figueroa versus Ceja, meaning that Leo Santa Cruz is up next. Hopefully Leo Santa Cruz can get his opponent out there pretty quick, and then we're not waiting too long for Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz to make their ring walks. I've got 500 on Wilder to win by KO in round 7 to 12. So I'm going to get quickly a fill up on my green tea because it's keeping me warm, and then I'll get on to Deontay Wilder and like my predictions. We'll get your predictions as well. So give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. Right, I'm back. Sorry about that. So let's get into what I'm saying. You got 500 on Wilder to win by KO in round 7 to 12. So in terms of predictions, let me know what your predictions are. Irrespective of your bet, if you've got a bet on, let me know what your predictions are, because I see it right now. Who knows? I might change it when we get to closer to the action. But right now, I completely reject, and I'm happy to be wrong on this, because I'm happy to be proved wrong, because I'll get to go to bed a lot earlier, won't I? But I completely reject the idea that Deontay Wilder is going to come in and do what he did to Bermane Stiverne in a rematch and blast Luis Ortiz out in one round. I don't think that's going to happen. Luis Ortiz is too much of a dangerous boxer and a skillful boxer to, one, allow that to happen, and 2, for Wilder to want to do that because he know he can get caught cold and early. So I don't think this ends in 1 round like it did with Wilder and Dominic Brezeale. I don't think he flattens him like that. I think if it goes anything like in terms of it going similar to the last time round, it might end the same round, but I agree in terms of the last King of Scotland, this will end in those rounds between the rounds 7 and 12. I don't think it goes to the scorecards either. I think what we'll get is we'll get a knockout, and in round 7, I'll go with the round 7 knockout, Deontay Wilder. That's probably how I see it right now. Let me know what you guys think. I think I heard on an interview, someone, I can't remember the name, it's like, very simple. Deontay Wilder by KO, Luis Ortiz on points. I just don't think I could see Luis Ortiz being given a win on points, even though he'd very likely probably visibly get the win on points, but I don't think they'll give it to him. So yeah, my screen is looking a little bit bare. It's annoying me. This too wild, Deontay Wilder and thingy. Didn't have enough time after coming back from Liverpool, being at the weigh-in, to then the Smith thingy. I wasn't even sure if I was going to stream because I'm knackered, but we're going to get through it. You guys are going to help me get through it as well, and help each other get through this, man. You know what? Like, another thing about Saudi Arabia, right? AJ versus Ruiz. I keep getting it wrong. And when I say AJ versus Ruiz, I keep thinking of something else. Anyway, that card is likely to finish before 10 o'clock. How fucking great is that? We don't have to wait for one card, cards that sometimes finish around 11:30, midnight kind of thing. We don't have to stay up till 2, 3, 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m. in the morning. 6 a.m. in the morning like Canelo and Rocky Fielding. Like I stayed up for like a schmuck to watch that. Or a Triple G versus Steve Rolls, which I stayed up for as well. It will end before 10 p.m. UK time, which is fucking grand. You can go out and do whatever you want. The problem is, as well, it also conflicts earlier because it looks like it's going to be a really good card. It also conflicts with the there's a big football matches in there. There's a derby. Is it Man City, Man United, or something like that, or Man City, Liverpool, something? There's a big fight anyway. That's a big fight. Sorry, big football match happening anyway, which it will clash with, which is a bit of a shame. But irrespective of that, just times wise, ending before 10 p.m. is a fucking godsend. I'm happy with that. I'm really happy with that. Obviously, bringing up the other stuff of Saudi Arabia, let's not get into a political conversation here, but strictly just times wise, fucking great. We're happy days. Let's have a look at what you guys are saying. I watched your interview with Dennis McCann and enjoyed it. Appreciate that, bro. Check it out on Boxing News TV. Some of the stuff gets on ES News as well, because Boxing News TV do some stuff with ES News. I know one of my interviews at least, I think 1 or 2 of my interviews at least are on ES News as well. So Ellie Sekback News, which is great to see. It's good. It's good to have that exposure on like a massive channel as well as it's American as well. So yeah, but yeah, just having fun and that. So, and that's all because of you guys, all because of the support you guys have been giving me, and just put myself out there, putting myself doing these interactions with you guys, and just having fun and making this content. So, yeah, man. Let's just hear the scorecard for this. 1 for Seha. Draw. I was just about to say a draw. Split decision draw. And booze. Booze all around. 112, 116. 114, 114, 115, 113. Jam Petrella, Trowbridge. Anyway. Same, he did very well against Smith. He was still talking about John Ryder there. The scores were shocking. There were, 117, 112. That was a fucking joke. It was Big Dan. It was. Rest in peace, marvelous Marcellus Wallace. Oh dear. Honestly, I actually really enjoyed that whole YouTube boxing stuff. Very entertaining and was a nice change of pace compared to what we normally have. Yeah, I mean, obviously, Snake Hips is giving a bit of a thing to it, but listen, like, if you don't take it too seriously, if you don't take it as serious boxing, you just try to enjoy it. Like, just loosen up a bit and just try and enjoy it. It's not too bad. Like, I grew up on a wrestling background, right? I love watching wrestling as a kid. Loved the whole Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, and what they would do is they used to cut your promos. They used to tell you they're gonna, destroy you, and that's what all these YouTubers have. Because when it comes into the ring, they can't script it. They have to fight. And I do like that sort of stuff where they're cocky and they're arrogant and they're throwing insults around, and you kind of get drawn in because it's fun. It's a bit of harmless fun as long as you keep it separate to the actual boxing. Because let's be serious, KSI is not going to fight Tommy Fury, because if KSI fights a legitimate boxer, he's going to get his head knocked off. But if they fight other YouTubers and have their own separate division, it kind of exists in its own little ecosystem. I was talking to Steve Wellings about this. Then it's fine and it's almost like harmless. Take it for example, wrestling. Like I was saying, wrestling has always had this tradition of they would do these cross promotions where they bring in these celebrities. The celebrities would do their thing. They would get over. They'd have like maybe a fake fight, or they'd have a little punch, like Wayne Rooney slapping one of the wrestlers. And you could say that kind of shits on wrestling because some footballers come in and he's slapping, making the wrestler look bad. But it's all just business. It's all cross promotion, and that's all it is really. As long as it exists there, I don't think we should have too much of a problem with it. At least I don't anyway. Fair is fair. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Not a problem. But it was entertaining is the key word, and there are things to be entertained by. Let's say if you hated both of them, then they got beat up. They were beating each other up in the ring. So you got something to enjoy from it. You got that fucking brilliant piece of fucking YouTube video of that fake Ed Sheeran, which is absolutely fucking ace. If you haven't seen the fake Ed Sheeran and the prank they pulled, that is top notch. So you get all that sort of stuff coming in. So yeah, it's just all about entertainment, and yeah, there is something that you can find to enjoy, to either laugh along with or laugh at, but it's up to you and how you see it, I suppose. Fair play to Big Dan. Leo Santa Cruz against generic Latino boxer. That's what we're getting next. Imagine if this fella causes an upset, though. Honestly, I really hope Joshua beats Ruiz, because if he doesn't, Ruiz versus Wilder will happen, and all the belts will be with the PBC. Imagine that. Wilder versus Washington for all the belts. Yeah, so I know what you're saying. I'd hate Wilder versus Washington. Just keep your eye out, by the way. Just keep your eye out. Gerald Washington, if he's not announced for a fight already, I don't think he is. Let me just double check here. Let me just quickly check, because let me quickly have a look here. Right, so Gerald Washington isn't scheduled for a fight. Dillian White is looking for a fight. Saudi Arabia, something's looking to be announced. There was murmurs of it being a Charles Martin, who is American heavyweight. Charles Martin's been shut down since. It's not Charles Martin. Therefore, I'm thinking, so you might be hearing this first from me, but I could be completely wrong, but I'm thinking that you might see Dillian White versus Gerald Washington in Saudi Arabia on the undercard of Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz 2. Don't call me gospel on that, but that's what I'm thinking right now. Oh, can you hear this? Look at this. You can't hear it, can you? Oh, sorry, they've cut it out now. On this thing I'm watching, they've got this VT of Leo Santa Cruz, I think it is, or his opponent. It's his opponent. And then the commentators are just complaining about in the ring about how the volume was so loud and how they've just cut away through it. They were just bitching about it, basically. Getting some little behind the curtain there. Anyway. Yeah, so you just mentioned Gerald Washington. So just look out if Dillian White's fighting Gerald Washington on when it gets announced on Monday, and you'll know that Ames said that. I don't know if anyone else has been saying it. It's just something I've been thinking. It might be Gerald Washington. It could be someone completely different anyway, but anyway, that's another thing. But in terms of what you're saying, yeah, it's going to be what, Ruiz versus Wilder for all the belts. And this is the thing. This is the bottom line, right? When AJ was getting knocked down and knocked out, I kind of realized how much I wanted. One, I wanted, and then two, how much of an AJ fan I was, because I was egging AJ to get back up off the canvas and finish off the job. I was wanting AJ to win, because it's just a better fight, isn't it? It's just AJ versus Wilder is just a better fight than Ruiz versus Wilder. It is, I don't think that's from a biased like UK perspective. I think it's just a general perspective. It's just a better fight. It's a better fight to sell. Two bigger personalities. Two that have been on this collision course for however long, and then like AJ versus Fury as well, like Wilder versus Fury. It's just a little bit. No disrespect to Andy Ruiz, and he'll earn it, and he has earned it to get the second fight. He's the champion, and he will earn it. So after the fact, if he beats Anthony Joshua again, he'll earn those. He'll have earned those fights, and it's you can't bleat on about AJ being better, or at least I can't, because AJ will have done it. Sorry, Ruiz will have done it. Sorry, but Ruiz versus Wilder just doesn't. It's a big fight, and it will grab me, but it doesn't grab me just as much as a Wilder AJ fight does, or a AJ Fury fight does. A Ruiz Fury fight, yeah, it'd be a great fight, but I'd rather see an AJ Fury fight. And I think as well, Britain needs it a lot more, don't they? They need AJ on top. He's the reason why he's a big reason. Excuse me, I should say, as to why boxing's booming right now. We need him, doing well. And like, to be fair, like, it doesn't mean that he couldn't pick up a belt after the fact, because one of those belts getting vacated, WBO or IBF, and Joshua will be back in there pretty quickly, won't he? If that fight doesn't get made. So, sorry, if he does lose the belt, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I don't want to see Wilder versus Washington for all 4 belts, for sure. Big Dan, that's so true. Deontay will just fight trash for the next 3 years. I mean, people keep saying, oh yeah, we'll keep it in house and we'll get the unification for Wilder versus Ruiz like next. But will we, or will Al Heyman and the PBC just look to keep Wilder and Ruiz separate against other fighters that they can drum up, that will keep it around the PBC and stuff, so they can, and then milk it as much as they can, and then go to that Wilder versus Ruiz unification? Is that what will happen? Tyson Fury can still say, hold on, I've got lineal, you're not going to be champion until you beat me. So they might do something like that, but yeah, hopefully that's not the situation, because I would hate that. I reckon it's going to be the same result, round 10 KO. Fair, round 10. Exactly, Ivana. I think Ruiz would rebel against the idea more. Do you reckon Vidal Riley could be world champion? From what I've seen, he's got good potential. He does have good potential. I think I've seen him box once. And what card was that on? Was that on a Canelo card? I think he's boxed once on the undercard of a Canelo card. I've seen him fight once, and he's just very raw still yet. He's still quite raw yet. He's still got a long ways to go. He's at a good gym, obviously Mayweather gym. He signed with them. He's under good tutelage. And this is the thing. Like him and a few others can be that new wave of new young blood who've got new ideas, fresh ideas, and can take boxing to different places, because they're both Vidal Riley, and there's another fella that was on the undercard. Well, Vidal Riley wasn't on the undercard, but Nikita Ababi was on the undercard of KSI vs Logan Paul 2, right? And he's also got his own YouTube channel where he's also like doing some stuff, having some fun, talking about his life and talking about boxing, as does Vidal Riley. And they promote their YouTube stuff just as alongside their boxing thing, and they can make that transition and bring boxing to eyes of the YouTube eyes, because they like them as a personality. And that's what I think. That's what I think it's got to get over most in general with boxing. You can have all the skill with the world, but if you don't have the personality, no one's going to buy into you. That's why Deontay Wilder struggles, even in America. Obviously, boxing is a dwindling sport in America. It's dwarfed by your basketballs, your American soccers, baseballs, etc. But personality is massive, and Vidal Riley has it. Nikita Barbie has it. They're doing this YouTube stuff, and they can get those fans to definitely transition over to from YouTube to boxing, because I personally know people that knew Vidal Riley as a YouTube personality and then boxing on the side. Now that they know that he's signed with Mayweather, they're gonna watch his career after having watched his YouTube stuff. I know that for a fact. I've seen that with some of my friends. So it's actually quite exciting if you think about it, and it can bring like a new direction to boxing. But I do think Vidal Riley right now, could he be world champion? Yeah, I do. I think he's got all the potential in the world. He's in good hands. He seems like a focused young man. He seems like a good focused young man. He's in training like Rob Tebbett a lot. He like interviews him, and they always interview him like training and stuff. So yeah, I think he's got good potential. I think he could be world champion. There's so many belts around, so he could be world champion pretty quickly anyway, can't he? But just take the time with it. Take the time with it. No need to rush. And yeah, I think it can be. Last King of Scotland. Let me know when main event's on. I'm listening and doing the painting in the bathroom at the same time. No worries, not a problem. I will let you know when the main event's on. Right now, we've got Leo Santa Cruz just been introduced to the fans. Jimmy Lennon Jr. doing the MCing with his father and his iconic Texan hat. I don't know what you call those hats. And those chains. El Terremoto is just getting introduced. Hopefully this guy gets banged out. I missed it if he came out to that song. I quite like that El Terremoto song. It's quite cool. Tony Weeks is the referee. Oh God, I'm hoping this guy bangs him out pretty quick, or vice versa. What's the time in America? Let me take its current time in Las Vegas. Oh, the thing is though, we might still be waiting an hour because they want it to start at 9. Normally these boxing events start at 9, so we might still be waiting an hour, to be fair. Hopefully not. Anyway, we'll keep talking whilst this is on. Keep chatting. If anyone's got any topics or anything they want to throw out, then let me know and I can just ramble on. But yeah, man. I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, Vidal Riley. It was decent, that event. Oh, good right hook there from Flores. Good check left hook in return from Santa Cruz. I've just seen your question, Snake Hips. I'm going to pop to the toilet quickly and I'll answer it for you. Let me just pop to the toilet. If you got any more questions, just pop them in, but I'm just going to pop to the toilet quickly and I'll be back. then. Sorry about that. It's gone a little bit longer than expected. Let me just have a quick look. Hopefully we're back on my end. Let's see. Yep. We are wicked. I also put my hat on just for extra warmth on my head because it is fucking cold. Let's see what we're saying. What's your thoughts on the WBC becoming an absolute joke with the franchise titles? Let me just quickly get back onto this. Then I can answer that for you.
Of his power, but Leo isn't really been known as a knockout artist. He's not a one-punch knockout puncher like Deontay Wilder.
Right, we're back up. Let's hold that. So, thoughts on the WBC becoming an absolute joke with the franchise titles is exactly that, pretty much. Why? Why are you bringing in like Lomachenko? Does Lomachenko fucking wanna be franchise champion when he had the belt that all fighters want? Because everyone wants the WBC. It's steeped in so much history, right? They're all green and gold, yeah. Why would you win that belt? Why would you go through all that boxing, all your dreams and things to vacate that title? And this isn't on Vasyl Lomachenko, it's on his advisors. I know that they're steering him as opposed to him. I don't think he'll want to vacate that belt. To then to be elevated, quote unquote elevated. How can you be elevated when they've taken the title off of you? You've essentially vacated that title, you've not got that title anymore, and you've now been vacated to some other status which they've made up, called franchise champion, which allows them to be disassociated from the mandatory, disassociated from the rankings. It's almost like an emeritus status sort of thing going on, but within their own. Man, it's just I don't know. It is that, and it's a shame because it just puts that blockade in between Lomachenko, who's someone who does want to. Like in the circles of boxers, and they all say about Lomachenko, he wants to fight the best, he wants challenges themselves. But it puts that blockade in between him and those challenges that he wants because of the status that he has been elevated to this franchise championship. Well, it's not even a championship, is it? It's something you can't lose in the ring, and they don't even know the status themselves. It was Rob Tebbett, wasn't it? Rob Tebbett from Boxing Social did an interview with Mauricio Sulaiman, and he couldn't answer himself what it meant, what were the machinations, what were the permutations of winning and losing that franchise championship. He had no idea. Like they've not figured it out themselves. They've literally just given a status to someone and not knowing what that means, and a couple of rules here and there. But that status that they've given them essentially gives whoever they've given that status, that title, carte blanche to do whatever they want with that and however they want with that, because it's a developing thing, and it's just going to leave us all frustrated because we're not going to get the. Deontay Wilder's just gloving up now, so come on, Santa Cruz, knock out this fella so we can get this fight started. But yeah, man, it's just a shitty situation. Another thing boxing fans got to put up with. Anyway. Oh, mate, the WBC, they've become such a joke. Hell yeah, Big Dan, you know it. It's actually frustrating watching Mauricio Sulaiman get interviewed. His arrogance is quite unbelievable. Yep, can't even articulate what it means, what franchise champion means. What if you lose it? What happens then? Can you win it? Is it a belt? Does it mean if you win all the belts, are you unified without the franchise champion? If you don't have the WBC championship and you win everything else, have you unified the divisions? What does your status mean? Apart from nothing. Now they have new drug testing measure which favors Mexican fighters. Yeah, the clenbuterol levels have been raised. I don't know what to and from. Or is it from 5% now to 10 maybe, if that's what it is. And yeah, man, if people want to get some Mexican meat imported over, and then they can have traces of clenbuterol in their system, and they'll be given that pass. That's a whole different kettle of fish, but or kettle of Mexican meat, should I say? But yeah, just shit, man. Round 5 of 12. Come on, Leo. Catch him with a shot. Good uppercut there on the inside. So yeah, that's my thoughts, basically, on that situation. Good left hook there from Flores on Santa Cruz. Another one again as Santa Cruz steps forward. Then they clinch. Santa Cruz is now complaining, I think, of headbutt a little bit. I think it got on the cheek. Good shot to the body. Flores feints to step in and steps out of range. Good 1-2 from Santa Cruz. Oh, good stuff, man. Good engagement there from both of them. Right hook to the body, shovel uppercut it was. Shovel hook, sorry. Oh man, I'm knackered, man. We're gonna stick through it though. Come on, man. Come on, Leo. 20 seconds of this round left. Double jab right hand from Leo. And then the 5th round. So halfway through. Fuck me. Ortiz putting on his gloves now.
Luis Ortiz with Herman Caicedo getting his gloves on.
Ortiz looking young, man. Ortiz looking well young, man. He's around the clock.
Heavyweight Championship of the world. Looking on as well for Luis Ortiz, Javier Jimenez, and Larry Wade as well. And Luis Ortiz, he looks in fantastic shape.
He does, doesn't he? He looks in really good shape.
Chiseled.
Looking forward to seeing what it looks like when he comes into the ring. Right, I'm going to pull up some boxing stories, see where we're at with boxing right now. Just because we can't have me just looking at the thingy there, can we? Just have a quick look.
What your criteria is when it comes to judging. I think Santa Cruz is ahead, but not by much, maybe 3-2.
Okay, Bob Arum moving slowly on Josh Warrington versus Shakur Stevenson talks. Going to be a good fight, that. Good unification fight, that. What's Bob Arum saying? Arum says if he's successful in putting the Warrington versus Stevenson fight together, it will take place in the UK. Brilliant. Although Josh, I know, does want to have that that overseas fight, a Vegas fight, take his fans over like Hatton does the Leeds fans in droves over in America, like a takeover. So he and are in agreement that Warrington fight should take place in the UK. Willing to fight in the UK, no problem with travelling. Excuse me. Treading slowly. One of the issues where the fight belongs, I think we've come to the conclusion the fight should be in the UK. Warrington is a tremendous attraction in Leeds. Shakur, who is a gutted, cocky guy, having just won a 126-pound title against the brother of his girlfriend, made it an interesting event. Would be happy to go across the pond to do that fight. Working on fight them lose. I mean, I love the fight. I think it would be terrific. Warrington never stops throwing punches. He doesn't. The engine on Josh Warrington is unbelievable, and it's really interesting in that regard. And in Shakur, he has a guy that I label as the left-handed Floyd Mayweather. Ugh. Because he's such a great defensive fighter. Warrington been looking good against Takut, Selby, Galahad, and Frampton. Galahad was a contentious decision. I never scored that fight, but it was very close. A lot of boxing fans expected Warrington to lose to Frampton when that fight was first set up, but Josh proved people wrong and outworking him. Warrington's high volume punching is what made the difference in that fight. So if I know some people don't really keep in touch with this sort of division, the lower weights, but I think right now Warrington has the experience. And I think Warrington's been underestimated like his whole career. People never thought he'd go that far, as to the extent that he has gone. I think a lot of people will be mistaken to write off Josh Warrington against Shakur Stevenson. I'd probably give it to Josh Warrington on the balance of things right now. Just because he has that engine, he has that volume, and he has that experience over Shakur Stevenson. And of course, if it's taking place in the UK, then there might be a little bit of home cooking there as well. So yeah, I probably favour Josh Warrington for that. That'd be great, man. Selling out the Leeds Arena for a massive fight. Excuse me. And I know firsthand, having been at I can't remember what the arena was called last time around, but I was at Josh Warrington versus Sofian Takut, and they were mental. They were absolutely mad for Josh Warrington. They showed him a lot of love. He got a lot of love back. He showed him love as well. And they were just on fire. They're absolutely on fire for Josh. So it'd be great to see that for Leeds. Big for the Leeds City. So yeah, Josh Warrington just picking that for me for now. When I think about it. Oh, and there's this Mayweather stuff in it. You guys have all seen that picture of Floyd Mayweather, right? So Big Dan, do you pay for every pay-per-view you watch on these streams, or do you stream it online? So I have Sky. So when it comes to Sky, I will. So this one we don't have to pay for it because it's on free TV, isn't it? So it's on Sky. So I just stick on Sky and I watch it on like the Sky Go and that. AJ versus Ruiz 2, I'm going to be paying for because I'm planning a big mega stream with other people coming onto the show. I don't want to say too much just yet. I have one person who's agreed in principle from another outlet, should I say, that has agreed to come on and live react on the channel for that fight. So yeah, for that fight I'll be paying for the pay-per-views. In short, to answer your question, yes, but no, if you know what I mean. But yes, I pay for the pay-per-views. Josh Warrington has impressed me lately, but I think he loses that fight. Yeah, let's get on to the Mayweather comeback. Right, so I'm on my way to Liverpool. And I'm just reading up on some boxing news and that, just thinking about some topics to talk about to whoever I end up interviewing. And I ended up interviewing David Diamante on that day, and we spoke a little bit. It's on Boxing News TV, and we spoke a little bit about because he's obviously an American, isn't he? So he knows what it's like. Because the pay-per-view culture over there, obviously Vince McMahon, the guy fucking invented it, but they have to pay like, what is it, like $60 for standard and then like $100 for HD. fucking mental, and like their prices are just ridiculous, like $100 and that. And we're pretty blessed to be at fucking, well, the standard rate being $19.99, but that had increased from what it was. Like Tyson Fury versus Klitschko was the one that increased it, wasn't it? And now we're at $24.95, which is supposed to be for elite pay-per-views. Now, how many elite pay-per-views are we going to pay for yet remains to be seen. But right now, it's just one, and apparently Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz 2 is an elite pay-per-view, and that's the price that I will be paying for it, because I will be streaming it. I'll be paying for it because I will be doing a live reaction to it on my channel. I'll be streaming a live reaction, having other people on here. Like I said, multiple people on here. One has agreed in principle. I'll be asking another one tomorrow, and probably another one on Monday. So hopefully we'll have 3 agreed in principle to be joining on the channel to live react with us. Should be great. But yeah, back to Mayweather coming back. The picture I saw on the train down to Liverpool, well, yeah, no, up to Liverpool, is they're both just, Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz are just waiting. They're just watching. You can see them watching the fight. Well, Luis Ortiz isn't. Deontay Wilder looks like he's watching TV. But as soon as the fight's over, they'll hopefully rush things through and get them to the ring. So 5 a.m. 5 a.m. I think will be the start. So half an hour, I think. Just over half an hour. Anyway. Okay, well, I'll just cut back into... I've never paid for... You said... Ivana Humpalot said I've never paid for a pay-per-view. I've paid for quite a few pay-per-views in my time. I remember Carl Froch versus Joe Groves 2 was one I paid for. Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder is one I paid for. You know, I'll definitely pay for pay-per-view if I think it's worth it. I do believe in supporting the fighters as such. Ones I want to support, I will pay for pay-per-view. But there are places, it is a problem, there are places that are wildly available to watch these fights. You can see it the next day on YouTube and things like that. But yeah, anyway, and I see this picture on my phone of Dana White sitting next to Floyd Mayweather, and they're just kind of like smiling at you. And Floyd Mayweather with his picture on Instagram saying, "I'm coming back from out of retirement in 2020. And Floyd says these things, doesn't he? He says he's going to Saudi to speak about a Manny Pacquiao rematch. He's speaking about rematch anyway. He's going to do this. He's doing exhibitions in... So this fight's now over in a sense because this Flores fella has had a point deducted. So, you know, unless he wins by knockout, he's not going to get the victory. So in round 8 or 12 on that one. But yeah, whether he's actually coming back, whether he's just saying it just to get a bit of traction, because he's always trying to... Have you seen Mayweather's Instagram? It's all about his strip club, isn't it? It's all about him trying to promote his strip club and get people to come down to it. Obviously, we can't because we're in the UK, but he's always promoting his strip club stuff, isn't he? So whether he's actually serious about a comeback or he's just kind of just promoting because he's apparently doing these, you know, these comebacks, these speaking tours where he does these comebacks and people go to it, they answer a lot of questions on his career, they get to interact with him, maybe get like a VIP, like a VIP gold package is you get a picture with him, a signed glove, and a meal and blah blah blah, and some auction and stuff like that. Yeah, he's on one of those tours happening next year. So is I think Andre Ward, and Mickey Ward actually was on one in Birmingham. I was gonna go to it, but I completely forgot about it. Would have been great to like listen to Mickey's stories and potentially get an interview with him. But I just literally totally forgot about it. I'm really annoyed about it. But anyway, that's another story. Another story on Irish Mickey Ward. But yeah, Mayweather is embarking on one of those tours next year in like numerous cities and places in the UK. And maybe it's just a ploy just to promote that. But or maybe it isn't. Maybe actually is coming to looking to do something. Just take a sip. Yeah, maybe he is trying to.
And there is
Mike Tyson's in the building.
no stranger.
Nice red suit there, looking nice, you know. Look at that suit. That suit is badass.
When he came back during his comeback after being released from jail, when he knocked out
Anyway,
Peter McNeely,
so
emphatic fashion.
yeah.
When Tyson
But it's interesting that he took a picture with Dana, and Dana's trying to do something. Apparently, the PBC is up. People saying PBC is up for sale. People are saying Dana's interested in buying the PBC. Dana's interested in getting to boxing. Dana's been interested in getting to boxing for a while. So whether he's doing something with the UFC, whether he's doing something with his Zuffa boxing, because imagine if you're Dana White, right? How big of a business move is that to launch what you're looking to do, this Zuffa boxing or whatever it is, or relaunch with PBC, whatever he's looking to do, but launching it off with Floyd Mayweather, that is absolutely massive. Imagine if it was a rematch, Mayweather-Pacquiao, like we say, so many years on and such, but people are going to watch it, especially after Pacquiao's performance against Thurman. People are going to watch that rematch, aren't they? Or if it's a Floyd Mayweather versus Khabib, the Khabib match has been rumored. If they go the K1 route with it, if they do it in the UFC, if they do it in boxing, apparently that's the fight that could be next. But something's happening between the two of them. We'll see to what extent it is, if it's just marketing. But it could be interesting. If it does lead to Dana White coming into boxing, man, I think can only be good. If Dana White makes UFC like boxing, boxing like UFC, you'll get those fights, man. You'll get the fights that you want to see. But I just think boxing is so embedded in the way it is right now. It would take years. It would take absolutely years for that to happen, which is a shame. Like Eddie Hearn says, he welcomes it, doesn't he? Welcomes the likes of Dana White. He likes Dana White. He wants to do business with Dana White, but he might have a tough time in the boxing sphere, signing fighters. But then the fighters will know the proof is in the pudding with Dana White. They've seen what he's done with the UFC, and there's never any bullshit when there's a champion in the UFC, or at least there's hardly ever any bullshit, apart from maybe this BMF shit, which is a load of crap. But there's never really any bullshit in terms of who's champion. When someone's champion, they've always deserved it. And there's only one belt in each division. And their women's fucking division is just crazy. Because I never pay for pay-per-views and I can never find a stream, so I just have to watch it after. Fair enough, Big Dan. I work nights, so yeah, most of the time. I find streams on Twitter, fair enough. Mayweather comes back, he needs to fight someone big, either Pacquiao, Lomachenko, Spence, or Crawford. Otherwise, I don't care. Yeah, I mean, that Tenshin Nakasawa, mate. I seen the videos, and that Nakasawa, that was some wrestling shit, man. Launching himself all over the place, playing that, he got absolutely rocked by that punch. Absolute fucking joke that was, weren't it? But I mean, he got paid a handsome sum, didn't he, for doing that over in Japan or wherever the fuck it was. And yeah, there's all sorts of other people that are looking to be doing those sort of things as well, aren't they? And Mayweather's kind of paved the way for that. But he got his money for it, for that easy work against Nakasawa. But yeah, I agree with you. I mean, Floyd Mayweather at the best of times isn't really great to watch because it can be quite boring. I mean, I appreciate it for what it is in terms of, the defensive and technical mastery. Great right hand there from Santa Cruz, just on the bell. But give me a big name like you've just mentioned, and I'm not watching a fucking Robert Guerrero. Although one of those names that isn't on there that you've mentioned, Big Dan, someone I'd throw in the mix. I'd throw in Amir Khan just because I want to see that fight. It's definitely way too late for Amir, but I'd still want to see it. Wilder on the pads just throwing a jab. Just throwing a couple of 1-2s as Deontay. Tyson looking slim. Yeah, he did look slim in his big red fucking suit. Looks class, that suit does. I love hotboxing with Mike Tyson. I wonder who his recent guest is. I haven't seen it for a while. Let's have a quick look whose recent guest is hotboxing with Mike Tyson. If you haven't seen it, he's done quite a few good interviews. His interview with Steve-O is fucking amazing. The fella basically drives it. I don't know what his name is. He drives the conversation and gets Mike's opinion on things, and then also then gets Mike's input. But let's have a quick look who's had the let's have a look. Santa Cruz with a cut. Apparently it's a pretty big cut as well. Joe Budden was on there a month ago. Andy Ruiz Jr. was on there a month ago. As was Tyson Fury 2 months ago. That got 1.4 million views, by far and away in his last 10 videos. It was his biggest. Most watched video was with Tyson Fury. And I get completely why. Tyson Fury, fucking lineal champ, crossing paths with Mike Tyson. LL Cool J has been on there. He's got loads of fucking people on there. Great show that. If you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out.
Just over the halfway mark of the 10th.
Two more full rounds in this before Deontay Wilder gets in. I'm going to get another refill of my drink. It's getting cold in here and I need something to warm myself up. So back in 2 minutes. Right. I am back. Knackered. Getting tired now. We're in round 11 of 12 of this one. Just 3 more minutes of this left. Then the decision. Then a couple of interviews. Then the entrances. Then the anthems, which is going to drag on. But there'll only be 2 because there's no other away fighter. You have Ortiz's and then you'll have Wilder's. So, not too bad, man. But my ears are cold. I look for a quick hat somewhere because this isn't doing the business for me. This hat, but I couldn't find one, so I have to pull up with that, which is annoying. But yeah, nearly done with this one. Let's have a look. I actually find it pretty mad how Mayweather's gotten so big. He's a pretty boring fighter for casuals. So how he gets to the sold arenas. Santa Cruz is pouring it on. Sold arenas filled with half casuals and half boxing geniuses is beyond me, because he'll sell. He's really good at selling a fight. He plays the heel really well. Classic wrestling 101. Superstar Billy Graham. Because Floyd Mayweather wasn't getting the traction until he started doing the whole Money Mayweather thing, where he started throwing out money to people, started flaunting at people, changing up his style, playing the heel, and people wanted to see him lose. People want to see him get knocked out. People want to see him in tough fights, and he just played the crowd, man. He just played the crowd, and once you get established on pay-per-view, you're established, and then he built that aura about him of the best, which obviously is, he's got more than enough to claim it against it. Obviously, there's a lot of cherry-picking claims, and I don't want to get into that right now. I'm too knackered to get into that, but let's just take it for it on face value. Built up his aura as the best TBE and the best ever. And people have bought into it, and there are enough people in America. Once you make it in America, there are lots more people in America to sell yourself to, and they all bought into it, and he made so much money off of it. Just imagine if Mayweather got in with Nas, that would have been mad. That would have been absolutely mad, man. Just keep an eye on this. I'm just going to keep an eye on this last round. And also try and keep warm as well, because I am knackered and cold. Right, I'm back. A couple of stiff shots coming in from Flores and Santa Cruz. Sorry, Santa Cruz returns in kind. Good body shot there. See where we're at as well whilst we're waiting. Yeah, Canelo is someone who wants a rematch with Floyd Mayweather. So Canelo's been saying, what has been saying, if he has been saying. So he spoke to ESPN, I think it's Spanish umbrella of ESPN. I've always imagined that rematch against Mayweather, but more than a defeat, it's an apprenticeship. So he lost last time when he was 22, Canelo. And Canelo has grown as a fighter, hasn't he? Everyone's seen it. Despite all the, let's take away all the asterisks from him. Because Canelo didn't need to do all this stuff. He's more than talented enough of a fighter to, if you get these weight thingies, they're an added bonus, aren't they? And stacks more stuff in your favor, especially when you got the cards. But regardless of that sort of stuff, the guy has the talent to beat people. And he was a 22-year-old at the time. A younger fighter who was learning, and he was 117-11, 16-12, and a draw. One had it a draw. Last 10 seconds of this. But yeah, it's just too massive. I don't know what Canelo's looking to do, man. Is he looking to stay up at fucking light heavy? Is he looking to come down to super middle against like a Billy Joe Saunders? I think that might be the easiest fight for them to make. I think they like fancy that fight. But I don't know where he's putting that muscle. Does he want to bring himself back down now? What's he doing? Where's he going? Because he won the regular, wasn't it? Or like he didn't win a recognized proper title when he beat Rocky Fielding. So to actually get a proper title is maybe something he'd want to do. It's just a shame, man, that the trilogy just isn't there. Like Triple G for me won the first one. I thought Canelo did really well in the second one, but the most I could see it was on a Canelo point of view was a draw. But I had Triple G winning still anyway, but that was close. But of course, Triple G got robbed with a draw and then the loss, which was just ridiculous. But hopefully, DAZN, they get their money back because they won it. Like DAZN have shelled out. DAZN have shelled out top fucking dollar for Triple G, Canelo, even Tevin Farmer they paid over the odds for, right? If the figures are to be believed. And they haven't given them the return that they've expected. Whereas, what is it, like a 300 million deal or something? Whatever the deal is for Canelo and whatever the deal is for Golovkin. Like Golovkin got paid 30 million for a fight against Steve Rolls, right? Steve Rolls, yeah? Whereas, you're just going to check with the scorecards here. 115, 112. 117, 110. It's going to be Santa Cruz.
He is now a 4-weight division world champion and the new WBA super featherweight champion of the world,
El Terremoto picks up another belt. You've done it. Terremoto making a bit of history there. We know all about Santa Cruz, but it's history, I suppose. On paper, it's history. He's getting this interview I don't give a shit about, so fuck that. Anyway, yeah, 30 million Golovkin got paid for a fight against Steve Rolls. Now take a look at, like, apparently, if you take Eddie Hearn on his word here, and to be honest with you, when I think about it, I think he's completely right on this. When you take a look at the KSI versus Logan Paul thing, the amount of subscribers it apparently did, the amount of views it done, the amount of pay-per-view buys it done for DAZN is astronomical. It beat Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz in pay-per-view buys over here, which is massive, right? At least for this year, yeah. They got paid peanuts compared to what Golovkin got paid. I think Logan Paul got paid 700k and KSI got paid more. Who knows? But they didn't get paid 30 million like Golovkin got paid, right? So for value for money, for the return that they've received in terms of viewers, subscribers, eyes on their product on DAZN, because I think the deal has changed with DAZN, at least over in America. It's like, you can get DAZN for $10 a month, but you have to pay $100 up front, so you're there for the year, or something along those lines. I think that was the last deal structure. So if you've got DAZN for a year and you paid up for that up front to watch that KSI versus Logan Paul fight, and they've done the numbers that they've done, and there's a load of people that have got DAZN, then it's just gonna be sitting there, but they've got it, and you might as well use it. It's like Netflix. So they've got those people now subscribed to DAZN. For that value for money that they've done, because they're not getting paid Triple G figures, it makes business sense. It's a business no-brainer for them to do more fights and that sort of stuff. To bring more fights like that, more YouTube fights. And you'll probably get another one next. I think it'll be Jake Paul versus Neeson Gibb will be the next one. Unless KSI wants to fight Joe Weller or Logan Paul gets into the fight. But, makes total business sense for them to do another fight for DAZN, get the subscribers, keep them engaged, and they're not paying as much as they are worth for a Triple G fight, 30 million. But anyway, bringing it back to Canelo and Triple G, DAZN want that fight. They definitely want that fight to bring people to their platform, and I think that's the marquee fight that they can do. Whether Golovkin's then over the hill and you know Canelo's doing what Canelo does is another thing, and it's kind of a shame. Maybe now I think about it, like, do I want to see it? Do I want to see a Golovkin that's old fighting against a Canelo now when he's probably gonna lose because he's old, just on the basis of he's old? He's too old now. Why would I want to see that? Because he's not gonna get the win again, is he? He's not. If he didn't get it before, why would he get it now? Unless he's gonna knock him out, and he's not gonna knock him out because Canelo's shown that he's got a chin and a fucking half on him, hasn't he? So he's not gonna knock him out. So therefore, he's not gonna get the result on the scorecard. So what's the point for Golovkin? What's the point in fighting Canelo again? Unless you're gonna try and obviously the defeat, the quote unquote defeat, hurts that much that you want to get back in the ring with him. But you've got guaranteed money coming in whether you face Canelo or not. So why face Canelo for a fight that you're just going to get jobbed out to? What's the point? That's how I see it. Let me know how you guys see it. But yeah, I just want to, right now, for Triple G, I just want to see Triple G in fun fights. I want to see Triple G in just fucking wars, man. I want to see Triple G back to his destructive best, because I love the come up of Triple G. I remember this, I've told this numerous times and I'll tell it again. I remember back in 2011, I was coming back from a night out with my mate Ed, who also loves boxing. And we're in the back of the car. Let's taxi back home. And we were just talking. He's like, "Oh, who do you like in boxing?" And I said to him, "Look out for this fella. He goes by the name of Gennady Golovkin. He's a Kazakh fighter. I watched him on some obscure show. I think he's got something about him. And ever since that point, like Ed, my friend mate Ed, checked him out. He said, "Oh yeah, he looks pretty good." And I'll watch him. I'll keep an eye on him." And then we watched him all in the come up, and he was just knocking people out for fun. He was having a load of fun. Yeah, the opponents were the opponents, but people were avoiding him, weren't they? Triple G was on the come up, and it was great to watch him. And I just want to see stuff like that again. Like, by no means does it need to be shit opponents. I don't want to see another Steve Rolls. Fuck that. But just give me fun fights now with Triple G. Give me my ideal fun fight right now for Triple G that I would love to see. It's Triple G versus Chris Eubank Jr. That would be such a good fight. You cannot tell me how good of a fight that will be. Seeing that fight would be fucking fantastic. I'd love to see that fight. Just Triple G in the ring, doing what he does best, piecing people up. Like Triple G versus Derevenchenko was a fucking class fight. And he just made a mess of Derevenchenko, and people were saying that Derevenchenko, like, done really well in that, but he just looked an absolute mess afterwards. And just the hurt that fucking Triple G puts on his opponents. Imagine him against Chris Eubank Jr. who's trying to posture and do that sort of shit. He couldn't get away with that against Triple G, and his dad around the ringside as well. The antics leading up to the fight, that'd be fucking great. That would. So give me Triple G. For me, my vision for Triple G is just fun fights, man. Give me fun fights. Give me fighters that will look to exchange with him, that want to fight with him. I'd watch another Derevenchenko happily. I mean, Canelo comes forward, but I can't be arsed with the politics and that shit that's going on. You know what I mean? So just give me Triple G in fun fights. That's all I want for Trips. Canelo, I don't know what he's doing. If he's hopping around weight to weight to weight, I don't know what his thing is. If he just wants to collect belts, which is fair enough, but it's hard to kind of predict where he's going to go next, because he's not bound to a weight, is he? So Let's have a look what you guys are saying. Honestly, the only person I could see surpassing, this is Big Dan, surpassing his record is Wilder because of how many fights he's had and because of his massive punching power that can save him every fight. The thing is though, Triple G has that same like massive punching power style thing, but Triple G has captivated the audience a lot bigger and better than Deontay Wilder has, at least so far anyway. At least on the outside looking in, because I'm not American. I assume you're not American. So I can't really speak for it too much. But on the outside looking in, it seems like Triple G, in the way he's managed to capture the audience, he's done a lot better than Deontay Wilder has. And Deontay Wilder is an American fighter and a heavyweight fighter at that. So it seems very odd that Triple G has managed to have this success, whereas Deontay Wilder has every tool ready for that success, but hasn't quite captured the American audience just yet. It's a strange one. But he's getting there. Again, from the outside looking in, it looks like he's getting there. And like a Tyson Fury is the perfect foil for him. Here we go. Luis Ortiz about to make his entrance to the ring. Can't wait for that. We're about to get started. Yeah. So I mean, it's going to take more. Yeah. The record is there. The record is definitely there, which people like. It's very appealing to the casuals. Undefeated, guy with right hand power. The highlight reel is there. People can see it. He's just not been marketed properly, I think, whereas Triple G has, and he's an Eastern European. And whether that's just captured the American audience or the hardcore is better than it has, because he's a bit of an anomaly. He's, like they said, essentially, there's a statistic. The statistic was that he had a better knockout record or a better knockout streak or whatever it was that Mike Tyson, sorry. And that's what they've tagged along onto Triple G, and he just soared, didn't he? His popularity just soared. I think pretty much after the Daniel Gill fight, his popularity just soared, didn't it? It's just needed. I think the ignition of that spark for Wilder has happened with Fury. They've not captured it just yet, but they have the makings of it. It's just up to them to see what they do with it, whether they fly with it or whether they flop with it. At the moment, I wouldn't say they're flopping, but they're not doing as good as they could do with that spark that they had with the Tyson Fury fight. So, but I mean, if he does make it, man, and he does get that fucking Money Mayweather money from pay-per-view, he will be the next star in it. And there's Floyd. Speak of the devil. That's Floyd, isn't it? Yeah, it is. In this suit, with his entourage drinking some drink. Gold tie. Floyd Mayweather's there with a 50-0 TBE hat. Let's have a look what you guys are saying. The zone surely can't succeed with what they have spent. Yeah, they've got to trim down the spending for sure. But they get, like I said earlier, they got their value for money with KSI and Logan Paul for sure. But yeah, like they have to make some changes, and they can't keep paying over the top odds for these fighters. But I don't know. I don't really know too much about their content and what they have so far, because the zone's not over here. It's not in the UK, so I don't really know. But I mean, before it got over here, it needs football in it. For over here, it can't succeed without football. And Sky Sports and BT have got a grip over that, haven't they? Waiting for fucking Luis Ortiz. I think they're going to wait 2 minutes right on the bell for 5, because that's the watershed for 9 o'clock, isn't it? Leah Santa Cruz, the Adrian Broner of the lighter weights, yeah. Climbing those weights, getting those titles, becoming a 4-weight champion, blah, blah, blah. Fuck that, man. Okay, so Logan Paul definitely got more than disclosed purses suggest. You think so? You think they got more than that? Do you mean specifically from what they got paid for the fight, or do you mean like from outside sponsorships and such? either way, still, like, I mean, it's still apparently, like, it's moved the needle, whereas Triple G's and Canelo's haven't moved the needle as they expected, whereas those two have. So it's a shame with Triple G, people ducked him out of his prime. Exactly, man. They just waited. In fact, for them, for us, it's a shame. For them, it's smart moves, weren't it? They just said, nope, I don't want any of Triple G. I'll get out of the way of that. I don't want that smoke for Triple G. And I don't blame them. I don't want to fucking get in the ring with Triple G either, but their boxers, they were all about the legacy, and yeah, it's a shame. Main event started yet, bro. Luis Ortiz is making his ring walk right now, so we're imminent. I think give it 10 minutes and we'll have had Jimmy Lennon Jr. be introducing them and the anthems be over. So give it about 10 and we'll be starting with the main event, Last King of Scotland. But Luis Ortiz is making his ring walk as we speak now. Yeah, Triple G, man. It is such a shame. There's so many good fights out there, and we only got to see, you know, just a taste of who we could have been in with. Kell Brook fight was good, but what Kell Brook was doing at middle, I don't know. Deontay was a great fight. Deontay was a great fight. Macklin and Gill. That sweet body shot though on Macklin, unbelievable. Luis Ortiz coming out to a song that I last heard Bernard Hopkins come out to against, can I remember? I think it might be Chad Dawson? I'm wrong here, aren't I? Let me get this right. Let me get this right. Chad Dawson. No, so it wasn't. It was later though. I think it might have been Cloud. Yeah. Cloud or Shumanov. Maybe Shumanov. Yo, look at Deontay though. What is that? It looks like a chess piece. It looks like a shit Power Ranger villain. I like the helmet. The helmet's pretty sick. Like the crown. It's the two shoulder pieces that make him look almost like a fucking Kingdom Hearts style Final Fantasy figurine sort of thing. I'm liking it more I see it, but it's the two shoulder pieces that I can't get with. Let me take a screenshot of that. Fuck's sake, man, move. Give me more of that. Just need to take a screenshot of this this outfit. Anyway, Deontay Wilder now making his slow ring walk to the ring now. Yeah, I think it was it was one of those, Cloud or a Shumanov. Bernard Hopkins as the executioner came out to Rick Ross's No Games, and Luis Ortiz has come out to No Games as well. It's a bit of a popular one amongst the fighters.
Look at this entrance for Deontay Wilder. My goodness. Talk about the actrix. He is as cold and calculated as you can imagine.
Big Dan, no, the main event hasn't started yet. Just ring walks. Deontay Wilder slowly making his walk to the ring. Very slowly making his walk to the ring. Well, maybe got a cheeky 500 at Wilder in round 7 to 12. Good luck to you, last King of Scotland.
He did it nearly 5 years ago here at the MGM Grand against
Those jewels, man. That jewel encrusted fucking face mask.
He knocked out Stavern in the first round. What is he going to do? Can he get past Luis Ortiz a second time as he is dressed royally? He is the king of the heavyweight division. Will he reign supreme tonight against Luis Ortiz? The baddest man on the planet is in the ring.
Call him the baddest man on the planet.
What an entrance. What a moment for Deontay Wilder.
It's like they're trying to give him the whole Shao Kahn thing right.
Absolute electricity. Here at the
They're trying to give him
arena.
that Shao Kahn Mortal Kombat trying to feel to him, but the outfit's just that little bit tacky, just that little bit tacky. It's the shoulder plates things, it's the rips and like where the skin shows as well. The face mask, to be fair, I think is pretty sick. I quite like the ring outfit, but it's just that it's a little bit too extra. It's almost like Power Rangery in a sense. Alright, Jimmy Lennon Jr. is doing the introductions. Then we'll get the anthems. Then we'll get the introductions, and then hopefully we'll get the thingy. Yo, Boxing Social. Is that Rob? Is Rob in here? How you doing, Rob? Good to have you. If it is you, Rob. Yeah, man, last King of Scotland. Appreciate your support, man. Good to have you in here, obviously, every week. And yeah, man, just having fun with the interviewing and that. And yeah, Boxing Social. Dropping the fist bump back to you. Hope all is well with the Boxing Social lot. Yeah, is it Rob? Is it Rob? Are you gonna reveal who you are for Boxing Social? Nonetheless, doesn't matter if it is Rob or not. But great to have the Boxing Social dropping in, giving us the support. Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz is about to start 5 a.m. Don't quite get the traction normally with these American cards. Get more traction in terms of views with the English cards, but fuck it, we're building and having fun anyway with who's in here, and I'm gonna watch it anyway, so I might as well enjoy it with you guys. Oh, Ryan, what's up, pal? How you doing, mate? You must be knackered. Mate, you just did fucking, you just done fucking Ryder versus Smith. Before you go, let me know who you had winning. Before you go, let me know who you had winning, Smith or Ryder, because obviously you were there doing your interviews and that. Let me know how you had it ringside. But yeah, appreciate you popping in. Videos coming up tomorrow. I appreciate you putting in your bit as well for the video. So yeah, it's coming out tomorrow or the latest Monday. But again, appreciate your help, Ryan, with that, and you too as well. Keep up the good work as well. See you soon, hopefully. Deontay Wilder's just had his introduction, doing that usual shit he does with the lock and loaded for his right and left hand.
And now here's our referee in charge now to give instructions, Kenny Bayless.
Oh wait, we're not getting the national anthem. Sick. Right, thank fuck for that. Unless I missed it, no national anthems. We're getting straight into it. No worries, Ryan. No worries, not a problem.
Champion.
Appreciate that.
Their first fight was a classic back in March.
No worries. Crack on, mate. Crack on, mate. Good to have you.
What will we see here tonight at the MGM Grand Garden Arena? Wilder's 1-0 in rematches. We are underway.
Here you go. Round 1. Bell for the first round rings. Wilder and Ortiz in center of the ring. Ortiz just stepping slowly forward. Wilder pouring with his jab. Pulls out a double jab just to try and ward Luis Ortiz off. It's just all tentative stuff right now. Ortiz circling around to the left. Shoots a left hand to the body. Steps forward with a double jab. Just backing Wilder up to the ropes here. Wilder stepping forward, trying to get back that real estate in the middle of the ring. Big ring here in Las Vegas. Wilder's just stepping back towards where it's happy to take the outside. Ortiz looks in really good shape, man. Really good shape. Why does Ortiz look taller as well? Is that just me being really weird? Ortiz looks really tall. Triple jab from Ortiz. Good overhand from Ortiz. Lands flush on Wilder. Wilder takes it. Good shot there though. Deontay Wilder just caught a little bit there. A little bit cold. A little bit on his heels. His feet stuck in the mud and took a sweet shot from Ortiz. Trying to slip and counter is Ortiz. Just missed with that. Then that time round was Wilder shot the right hand, then tried to come over the top, but Wilder was out the way of it. Ortiz again taking the center of the ring, and Wilder's on the outside, stepping towards, circling around towards his left. Double jab, just pushing Wilder to the back. Good shot again from Ortiz on Wilder. Wilder looking a little bit unsteady. It's probably just his balance as opposed to anything. 10 seconds of the first round. Great first round for Ortiz there. Really good first round. Yeah, good work there from Ortiz. That sweet left hand was landed right in the face of Deontay Wilder and caught him a couple of times there. Good work there from Lewis. He looks taller, he looks younger, he looks massive, and he's got a fresh trim as well, hasn't he? Here we go, getting a replay of it. Yeah, overhand left on the chin. Wilder took it really well. Landed flush. And he ducks out the way of a couple of punches as well. Good work there from Lewis. Double jab from Ortiz. Step forward, just pulling with it, not looking to land. Wilder just pouring out, not looking to land, just keeping the distance. He's using it as a rangefinder. If Luis Ortiz steps in a little bit, he's going to try and engage, just keep Luis Ortiz off of him, but he's not had that success just yet. Luis Ortiz is just trying to counter that with his own rangefinder of sort of pouring out his lead hand there. Luis Ortiz up on his feet, looking sprightly. Not a lot of action here. A hook and a right hand from Deontay. A quadruple jab from Luis Ortiz, and just gets a little bit off balance with his feet there. Tries to throw a check left hook, does Deontay. Luis Ortiz is out of the way of it. Not a lot of action. Not a lot to say here. Nothing happening still. Nothing to talk about. Ortiz not really looking to engage. Wilder not looking to engage really either. Left from Ortiz, just backs Wilder onto the ropes. Last 30 seconds of the second round. Oh, just tries to throw a check left hook there on the bell for the second round. Luis Ortiz ducks out the way of it. Right, I've just got to quickly do something. Need to quickly give this a thingy whilst I. But good stuff from Ortiz. So we haven't had that conclusive blowout that some people were predicting. People were predicting remains to learn sort of thing here, and no such thing right now. Not even a sniff of it right now from Deontay Wilder. Round 3 is about to start. Fuck's sake. Now Wilder on the front row, taking the center of the ring. Ortiz just backing him off. Pouring inside each other's jab. Single jab to the body from Ortiz. Looks to follow up, but Wilder's out of range. Good jab, a good shot to the body from Ortiz. A left hook to the body in return from Wilder. Single jab right to the head of Deontay Wilder. Wilder looking pretty vulnerable here. backing up his man to the corner, then shoots a right, then a left to the body. The one to the body got through, but the right to the head didn't. Had an opportunity there to trap his man in the corner, but didn't quite cut off the ring, did Luis Ortiz, unfortunately. Wilder's now back into the center of the ring here. Not throwing anything, though. Double jab there from Deontay Wilder. Ortiz back, springing up and down on his feet. Both of them circling around towards the left. Overhand there from Luis Ortiz and a single left to the body. The overhand left was blocked. Wilder caught it coming, but he didn't catch the left to the body coming. Tries to return and fire with the right hand, but misses. Single jab gets through from Wilder on Ortiz. Yeah, good right from Wilder there. Yeah, Ortiz just was caught right on the end of it, so the power didn't quite come through just there, but a right hand got through from Wilder on Ortiz. Well, for the third round. Again, not a lot of action, very tentative. Again, Ortiz looking pretty good. Yeah, that overhand that time round, that overhand left, a little bit too obvious with it was Ortiz, but he did follow it up with a good body shot though. But it was blocked on the gloves, and then there was a single jab that Wilder caught flush as well. But the first one, the overhand left, was caught in the gloves of Wilder, so it was just a bit obvious. But Ortiz was intelligent enough to quickly follow it up with a shot to the body. So if that one doesn't come through, shoot off of it as well. Is what I'd be saying to Ortiz. Because Wilder's open after that shot. Triple, quadruple jab there, I think that was from Ortiz. I think the last jab on the end of that quadruple jab got through. It's that jab at the moment, both of them just trying to find their range with it, just trying to play with each other a little bit as well. Getting on the inside with that jab and then trying to land off of it. But they're both using it as like little range finders, and when they're in range, then try and show the other one is in range by putting their little like range finding jab out as well, just pouring off with each other. Ortiz backs his man up, overhand left there from Ortiz. Looks like it wobbled Wilder. Now he's putting more pressure on him. I think Wilder was actually okay from it. It's just his balance as well. It's very difficult to tell when Wilder gets like wobbled or not, because he's very awkward. But I think he rode those two shots. If not, those shots might have just missed completely. But he had his man backed up in the corner, and Ortiz was looking to shoot. And over the shot again here. Ortiz doubles up on it, then shoots to the body. Wilder with some histrionics there, just playing to him, tell him to bring it. Luis Ortiz isn't getting engaged just yet. Playing a good game here. Not getting caught into walking into anything. So good work here from Ortiz not to get drawn in. If Wilder just steps in with a jab, then takes a big angles off with a step to his left, and then shoots a right hand down the pipe, that shot's there all day for him. Single jab. Just again, this little battle going on here.
Under 30 seconds left in round 4. Wilder looking to throw him.
Well, right hand there, caught in the gloves of Ortiz. Slips a jab from Deontay. Double jab, and then a left to the body from Ortiz. The double jab was just used to find that range to then hit the left, and the left got through. Wilder just feinting, looking to throw, but he's not throwing a lot. Big Dan, no worries, not a problem. We'll get your reaction afterwards, no worries. Do what you gotta do, it's all cool. But good work there from Ortiz, I think, to not get drawn in. Because I think Wilder was trying to draw him in, trying to play a macho there. And Luis Ortiz has been in the ring long enough to know when to engage, when not to engage. And he didn't choose to, and I think that was a good decision there. Right hand well blocked on the using a great little shift of the body. And then using his glove to cover up that right hand. Good work there from Luis. Now into round 5.
Luis Ortiz. It's very possible that he could have won the first 4 rounds. Average punches a round. They're not throwing much, but it just goes to show you as to how dangerous they are. But Ortiz, there's a
Overhand left there from... straight left, sorry, from Ortiz on Wilder. Finding his man a lot more and a lot more easily than he was the first time round. Ortiz just looking a different animal. You know what would be the worst thing? Is if Ortiz won this by like knockout and then he got popped for something afterwards. Triple jab from Ortiz there. I think anyway, I think it was a triple jab. Goes upstairs, then goes downstairs. Jab to the head, jab to the body. Sorry, right to the body. Left even. It's fucking nearly 5:30. Well, they're relying a bit too much on that knockout power here, not really throwing. Now he's starting to throw right hand and a left hook. Both of those punches missed.
Wilder is being more active here in the 5th.
Good shot to the body from Ortiz.
By Luis Ortiz.
Hard shot to the body. Now Wilder backing off a little bit.
Brilliant fight.
Very wary of that overhand left. It's Deontay Wilder.
Look for the left to the body. Wilder got out of the way in impressive athletic fashion. Oh, there's a jab that caught the attention of Wilder as we have 60 seconds left in the 5th. Nothing like watching 2 top heavyweights colliding in the ring with so much on the line. History, legacy, championship gold.
Backing up his man to the corner again is Ortiz. Not engaging just yet. Single jab up front just to then disguise the left to the body. Wilder complains about a shot to the back of the head. Wilder now looking to engage, stepping forward. Ortiz tells him to come forward as well, looking to catch and counter.
Swing and a miss as Wilder ate a straight left from Luis Ortiz. Nearing the end of the 5th with Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz.
10 seconds left of the 5th round.
A better round for Wilder.
Good jab just to put off Deontay towards the end of this round, then a 1-2 down the pipe.
Of the round.
I'm going to just quickly fill up my drink.
Let's take a look at the highest knockout percentage in heavyweight history. Wilder, the most at 95% on Seattle second,
back. Hopefully I haven't missed anything. Just 30 seconds. Right.
Wilder popping out his jab. Wilder with a wide base. As his feet spread apart, but wide. Both men know what is on the line. Both men, neither man wants to make a mistake. It could be catastrophic.
Very cagey here. Very, very cagey. 6th round. This might be the weakest punch output so far in Deontay Wilder's history of fights. Not throwing a lot. I think he's relying too heavy to get him to position to throw that right hand. And he's not had that yet. He's just been a bit gun shy. The notion was that maybe Luis Ortiz would be gun shy because of the power that Wilder carries, but it's not been the case so far. But Ortiz playing a good game here. He's not overcommitted himself just yet. Single jab from Wilder to the body, then to the head. Good jab. It was a right hand there. Yeah, it was a single jab. Sorry, from Ortiz onto Wilder, backing up the head of Wilder. Still in the center ring, hasn't been able to back up his man to the ropes this time round. Now circling towards his left, Deontay Wilder trying to back his man to the ropes, and Luis Ortiz shoots off with a left and a right hook just to get that real estate back to the center of the ring, tripling up the jab as well. 30 seconds of the 6th round. 20 seconds and we're into last King of Scotland territory. Oh, just a quick engagement there. I think Wilder held the head of Ortiz and nothing really got off, but we're now into the 7th round, so last King of Scotland is in play here. Oh, good overhand left there. Oh no, these are replays, must be.
There is Ortiz coming forward.
Yeah, last King of Scotland, we're in your territory now, mate, so hopefully it comes off for you, but I'm going to be honest with you, Ortiz is doing really well here, and I wouldn't mind seeing more of this, so good work from Ortiz. But also good luck to you as well, so. Will Wilder give Charlie Z the rematch is what I want to know. Does Charlie Z want it? He's undefeated. He won the last one, didn't he? So it's will Charlie Z give Wilder the rematch? Here we go, round 7 where I predicted that Wilder would KO Ortiz. Not looking very likely. Something's got to happen out of the blue.
Round 7 scheduled for 12.
There's a one lonely guy shouts "Bomb Squad" in the arena. You can hear it.
With the left hook to the body of Ortiz, we'll see if Wilder picks up the pace here.
Very quiet crowd at the moment.
There's some ringside observers who have Ortiz ahead 5-1.
Ortiz up 5 rounds, they're saying, up on ringside. Good shot to the body from Ortiz. Steps in with a jab, then shoots low. Ortiz returns. Wilder returns with a left hook to the body. Slips out the way of a right hand, then shoots over the top. Does Ortiz, but then eats a left hook from Wilder. This time around, it's a check left hook of sorts. As Ortiz stepped in, shoots that left. A little bit wild with that left hook there was Ortiz that time round. I think Wilder's clocked onto it that he's shooting that, so he might have to vary up his punches here, Luis Ortiz. Can't keep shooting that because Wilder's very, very cautious and wary of it.
People here in Las Vegas on the edge of their seats. We greatly appreciate you joining us wherever you are around the world.
Ortiz up on his feet now, back grounded on his feet now. Wilder back into the center of the ring, just backing Ortiz up.
There's a right hand by Wilder that missed.
Again, that jabbing game is going on.
Tactical fight between two men who have one-punch erasers. There's a right hand.
Wilder tries to shoot a right hand, but Ortiz catches it on the gloves. And another one caught on the gloves. Another one to the body as well. Ortiz stands in front of him.
A minute left here in the seventh.
Backing up now, Wilder to the ropes. Is Ortiz going to shoot off? Wilder with a bit of head movement just to put off Ortiz. Ortiz just pouring with that jab, doubling up with that jab. Then shoots a fast 1-2 combination, misses. Good left hook to the body from Deontay Wilder. Oh, great shot there from Ortiz in return. Wilder looks wobbly here. Good shot to the body from Ortiz. It was a left to the head, I think it was. I think it might have been a hook or an overhand. That just caught Wilder. Now he's caught in a bit of no man's land here. So another one shot over the top. He's now made his way out of the ropes here. But it was a good shot there. Oh, it is Deontay Wilder has just demolished Luis Ortiz with a right hand. Luis Ortiz is listening to the count. What's happening here? Is he getting up? He's down and out. Ortiz is out. It was a right hand. Doesn't know what's going on. I think. What a fucking shot, man. I think Ortiz was trying to play a tactic to get that gum shield out of his mouth to buy himself more time. He just lost track of he wasn't going to make the count because his legs were just absolutely all over the place. But he didn't meet the count. And when he got onto his feet, it was all over the place. And yeah, just one right hand, and that's all he needs to rely on in the fight where it looks like he's down. He's not getting off a lot of offense. Ortiz was coming on strong then. He just walked Ortiz onto one, was it? After it looked like he was getting caught a little bit on the ropes. And I want to see it again. That right hand, it is exactly everything it's made up to be. Deontay Wilder with... Was that the 7th round? Was that the round I called it as well? Or was that the 8th? Was that 7th or 8th? Let me know quickly if you're in here. Good sportsmanship here from both of them. Like, say what you want to say about Wilder, but some of the stuff he's saying now in the ring is really good to see. Was that 7th round? I said 7th round would be knockout. I want to know if I got that right. I'm not brave enough to put a bet on it, but that was the 7th. Thanks, Big Dan. Yeah, so I called it 7th round knockout. Deontay Wilder. I don't call things right often, so I'm just going to run with this one, if you don't mind. 7th round KO. Ames predicted it here. I just want to see a replay of it, because it absolutely flattened him. Wilder just posing here. But yeah, absolutely flattened Ortiz, who was coming on strong. I want to see the scorecards. Love to see the scorecards. I'm not going to stay up for the scorecards, don't get me wrong. I might stay up quickly just to hear what Wilder says here. But yeah, Ortiz is coming on strong. I think he saw that he had his man a little bit hurt there. And then just one right hand from Deontay Wilder. Listen, Ortiz is an older gentleman. We all know this, and punch resistance isn't there. But still, the power it can't be taken away anyway from the power that Deontay Wilder has, just to completely obliterate his opponents. It's I mean, here we go. We're getting a replay now. Yeah, sweet right hand on the money, and he knew it. Here we go. Stepping forward. Feints almost with a jab. Moves that hand out the way. Then gets a jab in. Then hits it's a 1-2. It's such a as well. That must kill for Luis Ortiz, because it's a simple 1-2. It's a simple 1-2 that the Cuban fighter, the esteemed established Cuban fighter that he is, been in the ring however many years. It's that, and the look on his face as well. It's a 1-2, the most basic and academic of punches he gets caught with, which must hurt as well. But anyway, he did set it up with a couple of like not proper jabs, not anything hard, but he moves the pad out, moves the glove out the way, setting up, looking like he's gonna throw something, and then he hits a fast 1-2, and that 2. We all know about that right hand. It just absolutely obliterated Luis Ortiz, who tried to get. He messed around a little bit with his mouth guard. I don't know what that was about, but I think in my initial reaction, I thought he was trying to mess around with trying to buy some time by putting the mouth guard down, putting the mouth guard out of his mouth. But he wasn't able to get up for that tactic to work off this time round, and Deontay Wilder picks up the win with another highlight reel knockout of Luis Ortiz and another heavyweight opponent. Deontay Wilder doing what Deontay Wilder does, and he doesn't need to be the most skilled fighter in the world. When he has that in his locker, he can just land that at any moment. Yeah, well done, Last King of Scotland, for your betting win. Not betting on myself, but I'm glad it's come through for you. So well done. Fuck me, Ortiz has been dropped. What a shot. Yeah, hell yeah, it was a crazy shot. Make that money, player. Well done. Nice one, Last King. Dylan White don't need that smoke in his life, you know, Ames. I know what you mean. Dylan White will fight anyone, and I think he'll take it. And Dylan White can land on him, but yeah, he doesn't want to get wiped out by that at all. Don't want that smoke. That was the 7th. Ortiz had Wilder hurt there. It looked like, but one shot can change everything. It did look a couple of times. It looked like he had Wilder hurt. It's just a bit weird with Wilder because he has just such strange balance at times. You don't know whether he looks hurt or not, or he's just off his feet with a little bit of shit balance. But a couple of times it did look like he got hurt, and especially in that 7th round before that knockout happened, it looked like he was hurt. And we're just gonna stick here with the interview, and then we'll just summarize and head out. But if you're leaving, no worries. It's great to see you guys. If you're going, Big Dan, great to see you here, by the way. Hope to see you in future streams. Check out some of the content coming up soon, but appreciate you, man, Big Dan. Here we go. Let's see what we're saying. Okay, he gives us a bomb squad. Cool. I ain't got the time or patience for a bomb squad at 5:45. Okay, he's just thanking all his own team and all that sort of stuff like that. I'm going to summarize now, and then I'll listen to his interview and then we head out. So Deontay Wilder smashing Luis Ortiz out of the ring in the 7th round knockout after Luis Ortiz looked like he was doing some good work and winning most of those rounds beforehand against Deontay Wilder with some good work, some good technical work, and not a lot of punches were thrown by Deontay Wilder. I think it looked like he was relying heavily on that right hand, looking for that opportunity. And it's a question about respect. We can skip that. I just want to know who he's talking about next. No worries. Ricardo Shilly Snake Hips, Savannah Humpalot. I'm my fellas. Peace out. Great to have you here. I'll see you on the next one. I'll see you on the Mixer chat for the Boxing Asylum tomorrow. I'll be there for that. I'll see you in there. Yeah. After not a lot of punches were thrown in all the rounds previous, it was a technical affair. Luis Ortiz done really well. Both of them, pouring out these jabs, looking for rangefinders, trying to get on the inside of each other's rangefinder. Luis Ortiz is getting the success of that exchange, and then shooting with lefts, overhand lefts, some hooks, shots to the body. Oh, he's pissed. Ortiz is pissed and uses just that one shot. Yeah, rocking at times. It looked like he did his opponent. But you don't know if that's just Wilder's terrible balance at times. But Ortiz with some success, and then in the 7th round, where it looked like he just started getting a bit of confidence, he's rocking his opponent, backing his opponent into a corner, then looking to shoot off of it. Once Wilder moved out of that corner, Ortiz came forward and 1-2 down the pipe after a little bit of good little glove work, moving the glove out of the way and just pouring out with a couple of jabs, and a fast 1-2 down the pipe, rocks Luis Ortiz to his core. Couldn't get up, and that's all she wrote for Luis Ortiz and Deontay Wilder in the rematch. Deontay Wilder coming out with a knockout victory in the 7th round, which your boy Ames predicted. One of his predictions coming off fruitful for the first time. Here we go. Who is he fighting next? Tyson Fury's next. Brilliant. February. So it's Tyson Fury, and then a unification if he comes through Tyson Fury. Brilliant. So appreciate you guys sticking in here, helping me stay up for it. I'm not sure if I'm going to do many more of these American cards, just because I don't get as much of the traction as I do on the British cards. Maybe when I build myself up more, but I still enjoy chilling with you guys and stuff. I'll have to check it out. I probably will end up doing some stuff. You know what I'm like anyway. I just want to do all these and interact with you guys. But yeah, stuff's coming out on the channel soon. You guys already know the drill. I've repeated it many times, but great to have you guys here. I appreciate it. Last King of Scotland, Big Dan was in here. Ivana Humpalak, Ricardo Shilly Shally, Snake Hips was in here. D-Man has been in here as well. Boxing Social, Ryan Elliott from Boxing Social said hello as well. But yeah, appreciate you guys, and I will see you on the next one. Peace. I'm going to bed. Make sure you're in the chat for Boxing Asylum tomorrow on Mixler. Be there 9 PM.